Okay. So let's come into our seated position. Welcome everyone again. Good to see you all. All right, everybody here is in San Diego today, so it's just all San Diego peeps. All right. Were you having trouble with the audio, Carol? You're on mute. I can't hear you. That's okay. That's okay. We can find out after. All right. Let's get into our comfortable seated position. And just start to check in here. Sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes. And just check in. Just notice how you're feeling right now as you begin your practice. Scan your body. Notice if there's any constriction or any tension or really anything that you're noticing that's a little bit annoying or kind of nagging at you. But just take note. No judgment. And we'll start to watch our breath come in and out. So watch the breath as it comes in through the nose and out through the nose. Relax your jaw. Soften your temples. Take your shoulders up towards your ears and then float them back and down. So when you do that, you're going to feel your chest open a little bit more, kind of hugging your shoulders in toward each other. So we always want that action. Another way to really help do that is hold on to your knees and kind of pull on your knees to open the chest. The same action. And I talk about that a lot. We do a lot, even some of our just slide down poses, we do a lot of the heart lifting the chest in this practice. So this is what we want to feel, is that lifting and kind of hugging that shoulders in toward each other. And we'll continue to follow our breath in and out. And then let's deepen our breath. We're going to do a little pranayama. So let's take a big breath in through the nose to the count of 4. Now hold it here at the top to the count of 4. Gently exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Now when you're holding it here, see if you can kind of hug the navel in towards your spine. So you really engage in your abdominals and even your pelvic floor here. Kind of hug everything in. And then we'll just exhale, release, relax everything. Let's do that again. Breath in, 2, 3, 4. Hold it here. Now exhale again. Hug everything in. Draw the navel in toward the spine. Feel the abdominals contract on your exhalation. And then hold that. And let's flow through one more time. Breath in. Hold it here. Exhale. Hug it in. Hold it. And then just let your breath flow in and out naturally. So we're going to do a lot of that hugging in today. So I'll remind you of that. But when we exhale, we want to continue to focus on that contraction of the engagement of the abdominals when we exhale. All right, so let's just take our chin into our chest. We'll just warm up the neck, the shoulders a little bit. So let's take our chin into our chest and then float the shoulders down toward the floor. So even here, we're hugging those shoulders toward each other, tucking the chin into your chest, and maybe taking your hands onto your head to deepen that stretch. You don't have to do that. You can just keep your hands on your lap. The focus is the back of the neck, deepening that stretch. The cervical spine. And now release your hands, and we're going to start to take the chin up toward the ceiling. And then take your collarbones toward the floor. And if you want, you can even take your hands right up near your collarbones and kind of gently draw the skin down just to deepen the stretch. And again, optional. Just something to maybe deepen that stretch. And then release. We'll take our chin back parallel to the floor. All right, let's look over our right shoulder. Keep the shoulder blades back and down. Just kind of notice where your range of motion is. Don't force it beyond the stopping point. Just go where you can go. And then bring your chin back to center. And then over to the left. Shoulders stay back and down. Try not to hunch them up toward the ears. Chest stays lifted. And then bring your chin back to center. Sit up nice and tall. Let's take our right ear to our right shoulder. Just take your head toward the front of your mat until the left ear and left shoulder meet. And then go back in the opposite direction. Just go at your own pace. Half circles from one shoulder to the other. Go slow as you want to. Really accentuate this movement. Noticing the neck, what's going on in your neck right now. It should feel kind of nice, right? It should feel just stretching out the neck, working out some of the kinks. All right, next time a shoulder and an ear meet, stay there. And we'll do the same thing. We're going to go back toward the back of our mat, which may be a little more challenging, right? You might feel a little bit tighter here. You may even hear some noises, some crunching, some cracking. That's pretty normal. If you have one particular spot that's super tight, just let your head hang there for a breath. Breathe into it, maybe 2 breaths. And then move on. If you find another one, continue on. And just go again back and forth. Just take your time, giving yourself a massage in your neck. And the next time an ear and a shoulder meet, stay there. Carefully bring your head up, sit up tall, and just kind of notice how that all feels. Let's take our right ear back to our right shoulder. And we're going to walk our right hand over to the right. Then we're going to take the left arm up and reach it over toward the right. So we want to press down with our left sit bone, with our left butt cheek, and reach through the left fingers. So you're feeling a nice big stretch all along the left side body. Pressing away as you reach to get that length. So there's a lot of that in yoga where we press down as we rise up to create length. One more breath. Carefully come up. We'll switch sides. We'll walk the left hand over, left ear drops toward the shoulder, and we'll reach the right arm up. Inhale, and then exhale. Reach over to the left, pressing your right sit bone down. So I'm feeling this throughout that side body, going where you need to go. You can always put your hand on the left hand on a block or even a book if it's hard to press your hip down. Notice where you're feeling this in the stretch. We really start to open up right in the side body, even the QL area. Preparing for the work ahead. Let's come up. Let's go over to the right again. Take your right ear to your right shoulder, walk the right hand out. This time we're just going to reach that, rather than reaching over, we're going to reach it out and then back and down or somewhere around there. Move it around till you find that stretch. Right here is the target area, right in your upper trapezius muscle. So move it around till you find that big stretch. And then press the arm back. Feeling that big stretch, getting into the muscle, the tissue. Breathing here. Just let your head just kind of lower down towards your ear. So your right ear. So you're not forcing anything here either. If you want to, you can maybe even look towards your shoulder a little bit more. You're going to change the stretch just slightly. Take your right hand onto your right ear. Carefully bring your head up. Come up nice and slow. And then sit here and notice how the right feels from the left and the left from the right. Kind of notice that. All right, other side, we'll set up. Left hand walks out, left ear toward the left shoulder. So you already start to feel that when we do this. Then we take the right arm out and back and down, or some combination of that. Move it around to find that place where you're going to get the benefit of this pose. So try to keep your shoulders in line with each other. So we're not twisting. There's no twist here. The shoulders stay parallel, and then we reach the arm back. And we'll take our left hand onto our ear, carefully, slowly guide your head up, and again, sit here. And notice all that space that we're creating. All right, let's switch our legs around because we've been here for a little bit. Then we're going to twist over to the right. So take your left hand onto your right knee and your right hand behind you, but keep looking towards your screen, toward the front. All right, so we're going to inhale, keep looking forward, and as we exhale, twist through the belly, twist through the lumbar spine, but keep looking forward. Inhale again, lengthen. Exhale, now twist through the thoracic spine, the upper spine, but still keep looking forward. So we're really trying to move and open up the chest as we twist. One more time, inhale, lengthen. This time we're going to twist, and then we can start to look over the back shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. One more time. Exhale, twist. And then come back to center. All right, and we'll switch to the other side. So the right hand will come on your knee, left hand behind you. Keep looking forward. Inhale. Now exhale, just twist from the belly. Just twist from the belly. See if you can stay looking forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, add the upper back to the twist, but keep looking forward. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, now we can start to look over the left shoulder. And then we'll take one more full twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And then unwind. Carefully come back to center. All right, let's make our way onto our back. And get your strap. Grab my straps. Get your strap or whatever you use as a strap. Molly's being needy this morning. Hi, babies. Okay, can you go lay down? Thank you. All right, so we're just going to come onto our backs. Just keep your strap nearby. and your blanket and your block, any supports, any blocks and props that you use. Let's just start right now with our feet out extended to the edge of our mat. And then we'll reach the arms up and overhead. Now hook your thumbs together. Press your heels away. So your feet are together, you're pressing your heels away. Take an in breath here, inhale. And as you exhale, press through your heels. Reach through the fingertips. Take your belly button in and up, but then we're also taking it up toward our shin. Now inhale, just let everything go. Completely relax. Switch your thumb grip. Breath in again. Exhale, press and reach. Feel the lengthening through the side body. Inhale, switch your grip. Exhale, press and reach. Inhale, switch the grip of the thumbs. Exhale, press and reach. And one more time, inhale, switch your grip. Exhale, reach. And then release and bring your hands down onto your hips, under your belly. Oh, hi, Mom. Hug your right knee up. Extend your left leg to the edge of your mat. So hug it in. Really hug it in. And then we're going to just hold it here for a couple breaths. Press through your left heel, hug the right knee. Maybe even just kind of guide it off your belly over towards your right shoulder. And then lift your chest. Draw the shoulders in toward each other. Hug the knee in. Press it down. And then take your tailbone into your mat. One more breath like this. Now release the pressure. Take your left hand onto your right knee and guide your knee over to the left. And the right arm will extend out. Then you might need to pick up your left shoulder to get the right shoulder down. Inhale, press and lengthen through the left leg. Exhale, guide that knee over toward the left a little bit more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Oh, Molly. All right, bring your knee up and let's take that leg to the edge of the mat. We'll set up for the other side. Hug the left knee up. We're going to hug it in. We're going to take it over toward the left shoulder. Clasp around the shin. And then press down. Press through your right heel. Press it down. Take your tailbone in your mat. So you probably feel a little bit of a pinching sensation in your hip flexor. And that's good. Love that. Just releasing the hip. Keep the chest lifted. Even here, squeeze the shoulder blades together. All right, now release the pressure. Take your right hand onto your left knee, and we're going to guide the knee over. All right, now we're going to pick up the right shoulder to get the left shoulder down and extend the left arm out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Press through your right heel. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift the chest, deep twist. And then bring your knee up and float that foot to the edge of your mat. Now we're going to flow through that one breath, one movement. So we're going to take the hugging in up. We're just going to add the twists. So take a breath in. Exhale, bring your right knee up. And then, let's do that. Let's hug again. Inhale here. And then as we exhale on the work. Exhale, twist. Inhale, bring your knee up. Exhale, release the foot to the floor. Inhale, left knee up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, bring your knee up. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, bring your knee up. Exhale, release. Inhale, left knee comes up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, bring it up. And then release that foot, let it glide to the floor. And just stay here for a breath. All right, we're gonna take the right knee back up again, clasp around the shins. Press through your left heel so that we wanna get the internal rotation of our left leg. So like the left knee, the left inner thigh is twisting down toward the floor. And then if your neck is okay with it, we're gonna take our forehead toward our knee. Hug everything in as you press through the left heel. Hug it in. And then lower down. Let that foot glide to the edge of your mat. All right, other side. Hug the left knee up. Extend through your right leg. Take your forehead to your knee. Press through your right heel. And then let's release. Take a breath here. We're going to go with our breath again. So this time we exhale as we bring the knee up. Take the forehead to the knee. Inhale, release. Exhale, forehead to your knee. Inhale, release. Keep going at your own pace. I got to go figure out what she wants. Isaiah, Molly wants to go outside. Will you listen for her to come in? Keep going. When you've done each side, one more time, just go ahead and take your legs to the edge of your mat. Okay. So when you're done, yeah, just take your legs to the edge of your mat. And then, now we're going to take both knees up, hug around the shins, and we'll take our forehead to our knees. So we're hugging everything in. Squeeze it in. And then as we inhale, we're going to extend our feet and maybe reach your arms overhead, if that feels okay in your shoulders. Otherwise, you can keep your hands on your hips. So let's do that again. Exhale, bring everything in. Inhale. Release. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, as you extend your feet, let them float and then place down with control. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, let the feet glide and then place down. You might feel some core activity there. One more time, hug everything in. And then inhale and place down. And just stay here. All right, so let's find our strap. And we're going to take the strap around the heel of the right foot. And extend the left leg long. The choice of teaching from your home. I don't have a room where I could go in and close the door. Unfortunately, right now, everything's under construction. All right. So the strap's over the right heel, the left leg's long. And we're gonna lift the chest. So when we do that, we can lock the shoulders down. So both shoulders are firmly planted in the mat. Now, if you're using a loop, it's the same thing. You're locking your right shoulder down. Flex both feet. Turn that left knee, the left inner thigh toward the floor. So that we don't want the left foot splaying out to the left. We want the chest pointing straight up. And then pull down on your strap. Take your right hip, your right thigh bone away from your chin. And then take your low belly in towards up towards your chin. And hold it here. So if your knee is bent, take your leg out a little bit more. You want to feel this in your hamstring. So if your knee is bent, you're not going to get that benefit. So you may need to just take your leg a little bit closer to the edge of your mat. Flex both feet. One more breath. Lift the chest. And then we'll switch sides. So take the left foot into your strap. Right leg goes long. Lock the shoulders down, lift the chest. Take your right knee, the inner thigh toward the floor. So that right pinky toe is pointing up. And then same thing here. You want to notice if you're getting the stretch in your hamstrings. Pull down on your strap as you press into your strap. Lift the chest. And breathe. All right, let's switch sides again. So take the left leg long, strap's gonna come back onto your right heel. Now this time we're gonna take both ends of the strap over in the left hand. So the left leg goes long. Now take your right thumb and hook it into your inner crease right here, into your hip crease. Lift the chest. Lock that left shoulder down. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, take your right heel over in line with your left shoulder. And then we're taking that thumb, the right thumb, and we're pressing the right thigh bone away. And then we inhale and exhale, engage the abdominals. Take the low belly in and up and keep the chest lifted. Working the abductors, the outer edge of the leg muscles. Keep pressing the right thigh bone away. That helps create some traction in the hip. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, lift your leg so the heel comes over the hip. Remove your strap. Take your leg long. And we'll switch. Back over to the left. Both ends of the strap into your right hand. Take your left thumb into your left hip crease. Flex both feet. Now we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, take our left heel in line with our right shoulder. The left thumb in the hip crease is pushing that left hip away. Lift your chest. So that right shoulder is locked down into your mat. You're still pulling the strap into your heel and pressing your heel into your strap. And we're still lifting the chest. And that right leg may want to splay out. So we're going to lift that right pinky toe to get it pointing up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, lift your leg so it comes back up over your hip. Remove the strap. Take your leg long. All right, back to the right foot. Back around the right heel. Now both ends come into the right hand. Left leg goes long. Left hand now is going to come onto your left hip. We're going to hold that left hip down. Lift the chest. Inhale. Before you do anything else, if you want to, I usually do this, put a blanket or a block underneath your right hip. And then we're going to inhale again. Exhale, lower your right leg out to the right. So that blanket or block supports your hip, kind of keeps you balanced, keeps the hips level. If you have one handy, it's nice to use. Getting into our adductors this time, right? The inner thigh, you're feeling the stretch there. Left leg is still super active, left pinky toes pointing up, the left knee, the left inner thigh rotating down. And that left hip bone is staying down toward the floor. Chest is lifted. Pull your strap. Press into your strap. Feel that energy pressing and pulling. Inhale. Exhale, lift your leg. Bend your knee, remove the strap. Take that leg long and we switch sides. If you used a blanket, move it over to the other side. We'll take the strap around the left heel. Right leg goes long. And then we take both ends of the strap into the left hand. Lift your chest. All right, right hand on your right hip bone. Inhale. Exhale, lower your leg carefully out to the left. Pulling that right hip down. Flexing through both feet, and then don't let that right foot splay out. We're taking that right pinky toe up. So that right knee rotates down toward the floor. Lift your chest. Pull the strap into your heel. Press your heel into your strap. Lift the chest. Don't hold your breath. Breathe here. All right, one more. In. Exhale, use your core. Bring your leg up. Bend your knee, remove the strap. And take your legs long. You can move everything aside for right now. And just take your hands on your hips. And kind of let it all sink in. How does that feel? How do your hips feel? Let's bend our knees. All right, so we're gonna open up our hips. Now we're gonna go internally and externally. So we're gonna start with the internal rotation. Slide your right foot over. So it's gonna come off your mat. Let your right knee drop in towards your left foot. So this is first check-in here. How does this feel? If this is enough for you, stay here. If this feels easy, take your left foot onto your right thigh. And that right hip will pop up even more. So you're gonna feel this, and then maybe, well here, we all wanna check our alignment first. So let's take our right knee, look up and see if your right knee's in line with your right shoulder, lower back down. Then maybe if you want, you can reach your arm overhead. Take a hold of your right wrist with your left thumb and forefinger. And you can even drag your left heel down your right thigh. So really creating this length from the right quadricep right up through the upper insertion of the psoas. Reaching through your fingertips. Upper attachment of the psoas. And then release. Bring both feet back on the floor. And we'll switch sides. Left foot's going to slide over and the knee will drop in towards your right foot. And if this feels easy, you can place your your right foot on your left thigh. And then we check our alignment. Left knee comes in line with our left shoulder. Stay here with your hands on your belly, or you add the upper attachment of the psoas. Left arm can reach up. Take a hold of your left wrist with your right thumb and forefinger. Maybe even drag your right heel down your thigh. Oh. Pull gently through the wrist as you drag your heel, creating that nice long line from your knee right up to your fingers. And come on up. Bring both feet back on your mat, knees pointing up. External rotation. Now the right knee is going to drop over to the right and then tuck your right foot behind your left heel. So you're going to feel this external rotation right here. And this may be enough for you. You can stay right here, maybe even take your left leg straight. Or you can take your left heel in front of your right shin. For Sukhasana legs, or if that's easy, take your left foot onto your right thigh and let your left knee drop out. So pick where you want to go with the lower part of your body. Your hands can stay on your belly, or again, you can reach overhead. Maybe take a hold of opposite elbows. Lift the chest. Breathe here. So wherever you want to go with your left foot. I tend to like my foot in front of my shin. I don't know what she wants. All right, let's come on out. Molly, I don't know what you want, baby. All right, come on out, place your feet on the floor. We're gonna do the other side. So left knee will drop out, and we'll slide that left foot behind our right heel. So check in here, maybe stay here, take that right leg straight, come into Sukhasana legs with your right heel in front of your shin, or maybe your right foot can come onto your left thigh. Whatever your hips are saying, you know, if they're gonna wanna do today. So if this is too much in double pigeon, just keep your heel in front of your shin, or just take that right leg straight. And then add on, maybe arms can come overhead. Lift the chest. You can hold on to your opposite elbows, take your arms wide. Keep the chest lifted. Inhale. Exhale, draw your navel in. Engage. Even engage the pelvic floor. Inhale, just relax everything. Exhale. Draw the navel in and up. And one more. Inhale. Exhale. Carefully come on out. Bring your knees up. Hug your knees in. Maybe rock from side to side. And then we'll make our way over to one side. You come all the way over onto your hands and knees. Maybe patting your knees with a blanket. Take your knees wide, toes together, and then just take your tailbone back towards your heels. Now, if that doesn't work well for your hips, you can always put a blanket, maybe a couple blankets between your calves and your thighs, and then come down. Then rest your forehead on your mat. Come onto your tippy fingers, your fingertips. Press into the mat. Get that length through the spine. All right. Now, let's come onto our hands and knees. Turn your toes under. We're going to lift into downward facing dog. So come on up, and we're going to be on our tippy toes. You can start with your knees bent to take your chest towards your thighs. And then keeping your heels high, straighten your legs. So we're taking the tailbone high. We're on our tippy toes. Look towards your knees. Spread your fingers wide. Broaden across your shoulders. So you're going to turn in your armpits in toward each other to get that broadening. Take your tailbone high. Lift your hips. Press your chest towards your thighs. Keep your heels high right now. And then come back on to child's pose. Just take a break in child's. Okay, so let's come back up onto all fours. Turn your toes under. We're going to lift back into down dog. Bend your knees. Keep your heels high right now. Wiggle your chest to your thighs. Then take your tailbone high. Straighten your legs. Right now we're still on our tippy toes. Now we're going to start to lower the heels toward the mat. Press the chest toward the thigh. And then press through one heel, bend the opposite knee. And switch. Pedal your feet a couple times. Take the back ribs toward the front ribs. So you're melting your heart towards your thighs. Then you're sinking your back ribs towards your front ribs. And then come back to child's. Come on back onto your hands and knees. If you have a block or maybe you have a blanket that you can roll up or a pillow, we're going to put something between our inner thighs. Onto your hands and knees, turn your toes under. We're lifting back into downward facing dog. Now we've got the block or a prop here. We're still on our tippy toes. Spread your fingers wide. Let your back ribs sink towards your front ribs. Now we're taking this block, we're squeezing into the block. The inner thighs are squeezing in, and then we're trying to shoot that block out behind us. We're engaging the abdominals as we exhale. Inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze into the block. Lower your heels toward the mat. Engage the abdominals, engage the pelvic floor. One more breath. And then come on back onto your hands and knees. Take child's pose. Again, just take a breath there. All right, let's come back onto all fours. You can remove the block. It's not already removed. Hopefully you did that. Let's come back to down dog without the block. Press your heels toward the mat. Lengthen through your spine. Take the tailbone high. Now look towards your hands. Carefully walk your feet and your hands toward each other. Take your hands back by your hips, come all the way up. And we'll come to standing pose, to Tadasana. So we're going to use the block again, in between our inner thighs. Or a blanket, you can roll up a blanket or just use a pillow. And if you don't have anything, that's fine too. But you're in your home, I guarantee someone has a pillow somewhere, right? All right, so we're rooting down through the soles of our feet. So really kind of feel that. We're trying to get the balls of our feet and the heels of our feet rooting down into the mat. Really feel that engagement. And then we start to draw upwards. So we take the kneecaps up toward the thighs up toward the hips, and then the low belly is going to draw up toward our chin as the tailbone draws down toward the heels. Shoulders back and down, chest stays lifted. And then we've got that same hugging in action. We're hugging the inner thighs into the block as we're trying to shoot the block out behind us. So we get that internal rotation of the thighs. And then we lift the belly. Lift the belly. Inhale, exhale, hug everything in. One more breath. Hug it in. Inner thighs shooting that block back. And then relax. We're going to move the block, put it over here to the top left of your mat. And we're going to take our legs wide, bring the arms out. And we'll take the left toes forward and the right toes are going to come in. Lift the chest. Reach out through your fingertips. And then we're going to reach out. We're going to take the right hip back, right hand's going to come on your hip, and then you can take your hand on your block. Or your shin if you don't have a block. Or even up here on your leg, just somewhere on your leg. All right, now we're going to take that right shoulder, stack it over the left. So we're taking the left rib cage toward the right rib cage. And you can just look forward, come up on your fingertips. And then if it's okay with your shoulder, extend your arm up. So you're pressing down, just like we talked about earlier. We press down to reach up to create that length. Lift the chest. So we're getting an external rotation in this front leg, front hip. And then Carefully come up. You bring your block with you. We're going to switch sides. All right, so same thing. Now the left toes are going to point forward, the right toes in and up. Arms extend out. Take the left hip back, reach out. We'll take our left hand on our hip, right hand on the block. Taking the right rib cage toward the left rib cage. Opening up the chest. The back ribs toward the front and lift the chest. Press down through the back foot. The outer edge of that foot. So that back leg is super strong. And then you can lift your left arm. Pressing your fingertips into your block as you reach up. So you're rooting down and rising up. And then carefully come all the way up. Let's step our feet together. And just come to Tadasana. Take a breath here. So we want to have the block in Tadasana this time, but feel that action. Imagine it's there. So Tadasana is where we always come back to, right? It's our checking in point. So we're just checking in here. How do we feel? But it's still very dynamic. We're still rooting down through the soles of our feet, drawing the kneecaps up, taking the low belly up, shoulders back and down, crown of the head rises. All right, so let's take our feet wide again. We're going to come back into triangle. Have your block here. And we're going to go from triangle to half moon. And then we'll go through warrior two, a variation of warrior two to get there. So if you do need something for a balance, or if you just want to stay in triangle, you can do that. But let's keep our feet in triangle pose. Arms are going to come out. Inhale. Exhale, reach over again. Right hand on your hip, left hand on your block. All right, so we're keeping the chest rotating forward. We're taking the left rib cage toward the right rib cage, and our right hand's on our hip. Okay, then we're going to bend our front knee. So kind of warrior two, a variation of warrior two. Right now, bend into your left knee. Keep the chest lifted, so we're still facing forward. Now we're going to step the right foot up a little bit. Okay. Now, you can look down right here, place your block in front of your pinky toe to get that alignment, but then we're going to take the chest back so we're looking towards your screen. Root down, create some balance in that front leg. Step into your front leg, lift the right leg. Find your balance. Find something to focus on. And then extend the right arm if that's in your practice this morning. So rooting down through the left foot. Oops, I lost my balance. I can't talk and practice this pose at the same time. I'm going to stand and talk to you guys. And then we really want to press through this right heel. So I'll have you come out of it because I know we've been holding it for a long time. So now come back through the way we came in. So we're going to come back through warrior two, straighten the front leg, come up, bring your feet in alignment with each other. And then we'll switch sides. So now the right toes are pointing out, left toes pointing in. We extend our arms out. Inhale, reach through your fingertips. We're going to reach up over the front toes. Left hand comes on our hip. Fingertips come on the block. So now we're in triangle. Taking the right rib cage toward the left rib cage. So we want to keep the chest action open here. Then we're going to bend our knee, coming into warrior two legs. Keep the chest open, keep looking forward. And we're going to step the left foot up a little bit. We'll move our block. You can look down here. Take your block in front of your pinky toe. And then you're going to look forward again towards your screen. Create the stability in your front leg. Step in and then lift your left leg. So find your balance here. And then maybe extend your left arm up. So we're pressing through the heel of this lifted leg. So this leg is as engaged as the standing leg. See, when I start giving instructions, I lose my balance. All right. So one more breath. Let's come out the way we came in. Step down. You can take your hand on your hip and the knee for warrior two. Straighten the leg and come all the way up. Bring your feet in line with each other and then step them together. Take a breath here. All right. So now let's get our block again. We're going to come back into Tadasana with the block between the inner thighs. Root down through the soles of your feet. Rise up through the crown of your head. Take the low belly in and up. Then we're going to sit back into chair. So you're going to sit your hips back. You can start with your hands on your thighs. Lift the chest. Sit back and go where you can go. If this starts to bother your knees, come up a little higher. Squeeze, hug into your block. And then take your arms in line with your shoulders. Hug into your block. Squeeze. If this feels easy, reach your arms up and overhead. Inhale, exhale, hug everything in. Inhale. One more time. Exhale, engage the abdominals, engage the pelvic floor. Maybe sit a little bit lower. And then come up. Bring your hands down. You can put the block away for now. We will use it again. Come back to Tadasana. So all this hugging in action, right? We're doing a lot of work in the core and the pelvic floor and really strengthening through the legs. Lots of balances. All right, let's get our strap again. Now, if you do have a strap with a buckle, make a loop that's about the size of your shoulders. So when you put, the way you know is if you put your wrists in it, so that's probably a little bit too wide. If you come out here, your wrists are in line with your shoulders. If you don't have a loop, that's fine. You can just hold on to your strap, all right? We're gonna go into a couple variations of warrior one. So we're gonna go lengthwise on the mat, and let's step our right leg back, left foot forward. So I'm going to use the loop, and I'll show you the other variation as well. Now we're going to bend into our front knee, and we're going to be on the ball of the foot of the right foot, the ball of the foot. So the heel's up. Bend into your left knee, and then this right leg can be bent to start, but then maybe you can straighten it, and then reach your arms up. So you've got the wrists in your strap. You're going to pull the wrist. You're going to try to pull your strap apart. So if you don't have a buckle, use a strap. Just hold on to your strap. You can even wrap your strap around your hands and pull. All right, lift the chest. Can you straighten that back leg? Now we're taking the low belly in and up. Bend deeply into your front knee. One more breath. Take that right hip forward and bend that, straighten that right leg. All right, bring your hands down, step forward, take a breath, and then we'll step back with the left leg. So we're on the ball of the left foot. We're going to bend into the front knee. Wherever you're going to use your strap, whether you have a loop or you're holding on to it, or you don't have one at all, that's fine too. And then we're going to reach the arms up. Bend deeply into the right knee. Lift the chest. You can bend your left knee, but then straighten it. So get that strength. Inhale. Exhale. Take your low belly in and up. So if you've got your wrists in the strap, pull away from each other. And if you've got your hands looped, you can do the same thing, right? If you've got your hands looped on your strap, pull away from each other. Lift the chest. One more breath. Take the low belly up. Engage. And then come on up. Step forward, come to Tadasana. Take a breath there. And we'll put our strap aside. Just take a breath or two here to check in. So we're going to add on to Warrior One. So I'm going to turn this way again. We're going to come to Tadasana this way. Step back with your right foot. This time the heel is going to place down on the mat. But we're going to bend into the front knee for Warrior One. And then you can, actually, let's just start the first one. We're going to start with our hands at our sides. So you're going to keep the chest lifted, then hinge forward. So you're hinging over your front knee. Inhale here, we're going to go into Warrior Three. Create that strength in your front leg, create balance, and then lift your right leg parallel to the floor. We want to take that right pinky toe toward the floor. Same thing as when our leg is on, when we're lying down on our backs. We're going to take the inner thigh in and up, the knee up, the pinky toe toward the floor. So our hips stay parallel. We don't want this right hip popping up. We want the hips parallel. We're reaching back through the fingertips. One more breath. And then we're going to step back. You can take your hands in your hips, step up. All right, other side. Step back with your left foot. The left heel is going to root down. Square off your hips. Bend into your front knee. Warrior One with our hands at our hips right now. Then we're going to take them by our sides. We're going to hinge forward. Bend your front knee. We're hinging forward. Root down through the front foot. We're going to step into that front foot. Establish your foundation. And then lift your left leg parallel to the floor. And again, we want that left hip down, right? We don't want it popping up. So the left pinky toe is pointing toward the floor. I'm going to take a peek. You guys stay where you are. Good, nice. Don't be afraid to use support if you need it. If you've got a chair nearby, because it is a balance. We're doing a lot of balances today. All right, go ahead, step back carefully. And then just step your feet together. Take a breath. Okay, so we're going to add on to that. So some of you are already doing that. Some of you are we're going to take the arms forward if you want. So those are always an option. Let's step what do we start with? The right leg back first. So we start with the right leg back, right heel down, hands on our hips, square off the hips, and then bend into the front knee. All right, take that right hip forward. So you can do exactly what we just did. You can hinge forward with your hands by your hips, or you can come into Warrior One, arms overhead, palms facing each other. And now we're still gonna hinge forward just like we did. Step into your front foot, really root down there. And we start to put all the energy in that leg. We lift that right leg parallel to the floor. The pinky toe points toward the floor. We're pressing, reaching through that right heel as we reach through our fingertips. And if you need a prop here, hang on to your kitty cat or your chair. Reach the fingertips, reach through. Or you can use your wall. And then we'll step down, Warrior One. Step your feet together. Take a breath. One more side. Step back. Set your legs up Square off the hips. So the hips are square to the front edge of your mat, bend deeply into your front knee. So we take that left shoulder, left hip forward. Arms can stay by your side, or you can reach them up. Lift the chest. Then we're going to hinge forward again. And then we're going to step into the right leg. So you can keep that left toe down as long as you need to get your foundation, and then lift the left leg. And you can, again, use your chair, use a wall. We usually do this a lot at the walls. So today we're practicing it in the middle of the room, so there's a lot more balance. Try to make sure you keep that left hip down. You're flexing that left foot, pressing through the heel. All right, carefully step back. You take your hands on your hips, step your feet together, and come back to Tadasana. Take a breath. It's a lot of work in the legs. So get our strap again. Let's get your strap. And you can have the wrists inside, or if you don't have a buckle, you can just hold on to it. We're going to take the strap behind our back. So it'll look like this. All right. Feet are together right now, and then we're going to step them apart. Now squeeze the shoulders together. Even here, pull your wrists apart. Pull into the strap from each side. Lift the chest. Inhale, draw your navel in and up. Exhale, hinge forward. And reach the arms up and overhead. Root down through both feet. Pull the strap apart. Open the chest. Try to get the ears away from the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then come up. All right, remove the strap, put it over to the side. Now we're going to get our block, and take your block in front of you, or a blanket, whatever works. This time we're going to just have our hands on our hips, open the chest. Inhale, keep your feet wide. Exhale, hinge forward, keep your chest lifted. Now take your hands down onto your mat, maybe onto your block. Lift the chest. So we're drawing the shoulder blades toward each other. All right, breathe here. Take your tailbone toward the back of your mat, and the crown of your head toward the front of your mat. All right, now we're going to walk our fingers back so they come in line with our feet. And the crown of your head's going to come down toward the floor. And this is where you need a prop or a support. So you can take your head, the crown of your head on your block, maybe your blanket. Maybe some of you can take your crown of your head on your mat. So spread your fingers wide, and we're going to hug our elbows in toward each other. Hug them in like you're trying to hug a block there as well. And we're rooting down through the soles of our feet. We're drawing the kneecaps up, the quads up. And we're going to stay here for a few more breaths. Hug it in. So you're going to press through both the balls and the heels of your feet. You're still hugging that beach ball or block between your elbows. Inhale. Exhale, engage the core, engage the pelvic floor. It's a little bit longer. So we have a little bit of an inversion. Well, it is an inversion here, not a little bit, right? Our head is below our heart. One more breath. Now start to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Heel toe your feet in toward each other. Take your hands on your hips, come all the way up. And then step your feet together. Come back to Tadasana. Take a breath here. Just notice how you feel. Checking in. And then let's just make our way down. Come on down into child's pose. Take your knees wide, toes together. And stretch everything up in child's. Come back up on your hands and knees. Now we're going to come onto our forearms. Interlace your fingers. You really want to be able to get the forearms rooting down into your mat. And so when you interlace your fingers, you want to see if you can get the whole bottom part of your hands pressing down. So you're creating a lot of support right there. And then we're going to come into forearm plank. So extend your right leg back and then your left leg back. Keeping your tailbone low. So if you need to keep your knees down, that's fine. All right, either way, we're working the core. We're going to add a sequence here. So there's options. So option one, from here, we're going to lift into down dog. You might need to pull your feet in a little bit. So lift into down dog hips or dolphin pose, right? And then we're going to come back to forearm plank. All right, so that's the sequence. So for some of you, you're just going to stay here. Maybe you can lift up and come down. For others, our legs are going to be straight and we come up and down. So let's take a breath here. Start with your hands or your knees on the mat. All right, let's find our way into forearm plank. Take a breath in here. Exhale, lift your hips up. So we're going to flow through this. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, pull your navel back toward the wall behind you. Inhale. Exhale, come up. Nice and slow. Inhale, forward. Exhale, pull the navel up. Inhale, forward. A couple more times. Exhale, lift. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lift. Inhale, forward. One more time. Exhale, lift the hips high. Inhale, come forward. Hold it here. Keep your tailbone low. Take your knees down and wide. And take child's pose. Good work. That's hard. Ooh, I got my heart rate up. All right, so let's come back up onto our hands and knees, and then we're going to make our way into a seated position, lengthwise on our mat. Get your brick again, your block. We're going to lower down onto our back. All right, we're going to run out of time. So we're going to do this. We're going to do bridge with a block between our inner thighs. Or a blanket. Or if you don't have anything, it's fine. Hands are going to be by your sides and you're going to spread your fingers wide. We're really pressing down into our hands, lift the chest. Walk your feet in a little closer to your buttocks. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Now lift your chest. Walk the shoulders underneath your chest. Squeeze into your block. Root down through the soles of your feet. Lift the chest. Squeeze in. Inhale. Exhale. Draw the navel in and up. Feel the pelvic floor engage and really squeeze into that block. And then lower down, one vertebra at a time. Upper back, middle back, lower back, tailbone. Take a breath. We're going to do that 2 more times. Walk the heels in, inhale. Exhale, lift. Hug it in. Lift the chest. Squeeze into that block. Inhale. Exhale, drop everything in. Try not to tighten the glutes. See if you can keep those relaxed as you hug in. And then lower down. Upper, middle, lower, tailbone. Catch your breath. One more time. Walk the heels in. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Press down through your hands to get that lift in the chest. Squeeze into your block. Lift the chest. Take your belly toward the chin. Inhale, exhale. Engage the abdominals. Engage the pelvic floor. Engage your inner thighs. Inhale, release. One more time. Squeeze everything in. And then lower down. Upper, middle, lower. And put the block aside. All right. Now get your strap. And same thing, if you've got the loop, we're going to use the loop. We're going to lift up, put our hands in our strap, or you're going to hold on to your strap right underneath your glutes. Walk. We're going to do one more variation of bridge. Walk the heels in. And we're going to lift the hips. Now this time we're going to pick up the right shoulder and crawl it underneath the chest. Pick up the left, crawl it underneath the chest. We're pulling the strap apart to really get the chest lifted. Take your quads towards your hips. Take your hips towards your chin. And then we're taking our chest toward our chin. Really rooting down through the soles of your feet. Open the chest. One more breath. Lift. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Lift the chest. Squeeze into that imaginary block. Imagine it's still there. And then carefully, one vertebra at a time. Come all the way down. Remove your strap. Take your feet wide. Let your knees drop to one side. And then the other. And just windshield wiper your legs. From side to side. And bring your knees up. Hug your knees to your chest. Take your right knee over your left. Hug your knees in. If this feels easy, you can take your hands down by your ankles. And then just pull your ankles apart. Now take your knees over to the left slightly. Lift the chest even here. And then come on out of that, uncross, switch sides. Left knee over the right. Hug the knees in. Maybe take your hands to your ankles. Pull the ankles apart, flex your feet. And then take your knees over to the right. Did you find a gopher? Lift the chest. Pull the legs apart. So you feel that in the left piriformis. And then come on back, uncross. Let's take our arms out to the sides. Scoot your hips over to the right. Take your right leg over your left and take your knees to the left. You can take your left hand onto your right thigh just to deepen the twist. Just look up at your ceiling. Nothing crazy with your head. We'll just take a easy, gentle twist here. Bring your knees up, uncross. Scoot our hips over to the left. Take the left knee over the right, arms out. Then drop your knees over to the right. You can take your right hand on the leg if you want. It just kind of deepens the twist a little bit. Just stay here. And a couple breaths. Just to cool down. And then bring your knees back up. Uncross. Let's hug our knees into our chest. Take your forehead to your knees. Give yourself a big hug. It's a nice big hug. You can rock from side to side. Come on down. And we'll find Shavasana. So you know all the variations. If you've got active back pain, you can take your feet wide and bring your knees together. Or even roll up a blanket and place it underneath your knees. Or you can take your legs up on a chair or your couch. If your cat's not on your chair. Or maybe you can maneuver around. So you can do this. I know some of you know, most of you know how to do this. I'm going to come around Lily. I would normally put my legs together, my knees together if my cat wasn't here. And you can cover up with a blanket or put socks on or a sweatshirt back on. We do want our palms facing up. And even here we want the chest lifted, no matter what variation you're in. And then we'll scan our body. Scan your entire body. See if there's anything that you're still holding on to. If there's any constriction. Send your breath there. Release. Relax your toes and your fingers. Relax your jaw, your temples. And just let your entire body melt into the earth beneath you. And I'll ring the chimes 3 times when it's time to come out of Shavasana. You can begin to awaken your body. Start to bring movement into your fingers and your toes. Deepen your breath. Reach your arms overhead, get a big stretch. Make your way over to one side. Stay there for a breath, just to make your connection back into your day. And when you're ready, come up to a comfortable seated position. Just sit here for a few more breaths with your eyes closed and notice how you feel since we checked in earlier this morning. Let's notice if there's any changes in your body or in your mind since you got on your mat this morning. You're just feeling more grounded, maybe a little more peaceful, maybe just a little more open. Let's take our hands to our heart center. Take this time to thank yourself for all these great things you're doing for your mind and your body and your spirit. Thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your energy with all of us virtually. Have a great weekend. Namaste. And then you can unmute yourselves. You didn't hear all that noise, right, while you were in Shavasana? No? Okay, good. Well, it was weird because I put this on mute because they're making lunch to go to baseball. And but then when I started, then I unmuted my laptop, but there was an echo. So I'm like, oh no, that means this wasn't muted. Anyway, let me stop the recording.